I have found a way to make an authentic Taco Bell Mexican pizza at home. I even have a low-carb version that tastes just as good at about 10 to 15 carbs as opposed to the Taco Bell pizza at just south of 50 carbs. The ingredients are all available at Walmart or any other local grocery stores. They include the tortilla, 2 of which are required for this recipe. Either are made by Mission. The full carb version for the 2 tortillas would be 46 net carbs. This recipe tastes exactly like the Taco Bell Mexican pizza, but is higher in carbs. Mission's low carb version would only be about 8 net carbs for both. This version tastes 90% like the Taco Bell version. If I put one of these in the Taco Bell container, you would be hard pressed to tell the difference. The next ingredient is Old El Paso red enchilada hot sauce. It is not hot like you think it would be. The medium is okay, but the mild is very bland in this recipe. You want to use about 2 tablespoons, which is about 2 carbs. I like to use a little extra, but more on that later. Next is the Taco Bell refried beans. Don't use the Old El Paso. They are too bland and will not taste well. You will use about 2 tablespoons worth at about 4 net carbs. You will need to make taco meat. Mixing Old El Paso taco seasoning and 1 pound of beef only adds about 8 net carbs in the whole pound of ground beef. You should be able to make about 6 Mexican pizzas with this. So less than 1 net carb added per pizza. Just follow their direction. The cheese I top mine with is Kraft Mexican Cheddar Jack. Less than 1 carb for this. The last ingredient is about 1 slice of tomato chopped into small cubes. I made my first pizza with the green onions, just like Taco Bell does, but all it did was make it look pretty. No taste difference, so now I leave them off. I don't like black olives, so I leave them off. Add either if you wish. On to building the pizza. The first thing you need to do is fry the soft tortillas. It's easier than you think. Heat about 1/4 inch of vegetable oil in a pan on medium heat. I had more than I needed in this pan because it was the end of the bottle. Do not cook on high or they will dome up in the middle and the edges will be overdone. Before you put them in the oil, put lots of holes in them to keep them from bubbling up. Lots of holes. You will still get some bubbles, but you can just poke them down. I flip them every 30 seconds until they are light brown and crispy. Once done, just put them on a paper towel to drain. They cool quickly. Do not overcook. Once they are crispy, they are done. From there, just spread the refried beans over the first tortilla, trying to get coverage from edge to edge. Then put the ground beef on top of the refried beans. Here's where the recipe varies a little bit. I like mine a little spicy, so I add 2 more tablespoons of the enchilada sauce over the meat. Then put the other tortilla on top of the meat. Put about 2 tablespoons of enchilada sauce on it, again trying to get coverage from edge to edge. Then put the cheese and tomatoes on top. I sprinkle just a little cheese over the top of the tomatoes. Now you have a couple of choices on cooking. You can put it in a toaster oven or a full oven for about 5 minutes at 400 degrees to melt the cheese. But what I like to do is mimic what Taco Bell does to theirs. They put them in a steam oven for about a minute. I make my own steam oven by bringing water to a boil in a fry pan with a grate over the top of it. Once the water is a rolling boil, I put the pizza on the grate and cover with a pot. It doesn't have to fit exactly, just enough to capture the steam. After about 2 minutes, or when the cheese is melted to your liking, remove the pot. This method makes the tortillas have a much better bite. It's worth the extra work. Once plated up, use your pizza cutter to slice and enjoy. You can make most all the ingredients and keep them in the refrigerator so you can make them at will. I fry up about 6 tortillas at a time and store them on the counter in a gallon Ziploc bag. If you have an Anova Combi steam oven or any other type of steam oven, you can use that to melt the cheese. I bought this oven specifically for this recipe, but I use it all the time, so watch for it in subsequent videos. In my oven, I set it for 400 degrees at 100% humidity and leave it in there for about 1 minute. Now for the rating system. This one's going to be kind of high because there are a lot of things involved here. The prep time is going to be about 3 chefs. The number of ingredients is also going to be about 3 chefs. The unique ingredients is really only about 2x. Again, all this stuff you can buy at Walmart or any other grocery store. Unique equipment is going to be a 1x if you don't use some type of steam oven, or a 5x if you do. For the total chefs, it'll be about a 9 if you're not using some type of steam oven, or a 13 if you use some type of steam oven out of 25. Let me know in the comments below if you make them and how they turn out.